What is the value proposition for putting a bug in your mouth on purpose? They taste like golden deliciousness.
With insects, you get a little bit more bang for your buck.
Insects are very efficient in terms of using land and water. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that insects don't need as much feed as other types of animals that we eat. Cows, for example, need about 10 pounds of feed to make 1 pound of beef.
Our current rate for meat and dairy consumption is unsustainable. Switching our protein sources from conventional animal products to more plant-based protein sources or insects, it's a much more environmentally sustainable system than our conventional animal products.
Most insects do have all the amino acids, so are a complete protein. Insects can also be a really valuable source of minerals and vitamins and also essential fatty acids. The cricket, for example, has as much calcium as milk by weight, as much iron as spinach, and as much B12 as salmon.
And then when it comes to the fat profile, insects tend to be lower in overall fat, but also saturated fat and cholesterol, which despite mainstream media headlines, are still things we want to avoid or limit in our diet. So with insects, you remove some of the harmful effects of traditional animal products, and you get a little bit more bang for your buck in terms of minerals. Most livestock are being given antibiotics to keep them healthy in unsanitary conditions or to boost growth. With insects, you don't get that, so there's not necessarily antibiotic residues in that. And the risk of antibiotic resistance, which kills roughly 20,000 people a year, is diminished, or there's not that factor. So that's one reason from a health perspective to choose insects over conventional animal products.
I try to talk about the selling points in terms of nutrition and sustainability, but mostly I just try to see if people will be willing to try just a little bit, because from experience I know that as soon as they realize it's not really gross, and in fact potentially delicious, then they're willing to maybe move on to a whole bug, or at least just consider the idea a little bit more seriously.